What happens when one of the most famous guests in the world walks onto a talk show stage and completely loses control? In just 39 seconds, a single comment would turn a friendly interview into an all-out war that ended with security escorting royalty out of the building. The lights were bright in the studio that afternoon. Tamron Hall sat in her chair, welcoming and warm like she always was. She had that smile that made every guest feel comfortable. Across from her sat Prince Harry, dressed casually but still carrying that air of importance that came with being born into royalty. "Thank you so much for being here," Tamron said, leaning forward with genuine excitement. "We're so thrilled to have you on the show. Your story has touched so many people around the world." Prince Harry nodded, but there was something in his eyes. Something sharp. "Well, I appreciate the invitation," he said. His tone was polite enough, but it had an edge to it, like there was something else behind the words. Tamron kept her professional composure. She'd interviewed thousands of people. She knew how to handle difficult guests. "Let's start with your new projects. You've been working on so many incredible initiatives. Tell us about what you're most passionate about right now." "You know what I'm passionate about?" Prince Harry interrupted, not even letting her finish. "I'm passionate about people actually listening for once. Actually understanding what it's like to live under constant scrutiny." Tamron's smile stayed in place, but her eyes showed a flicker of surprise. "Of course, and that's exactly why we're here, to give you a platform to share your truth." "A platform," Prince Harry repeated, and he actually laughed. But it wasn't a friendly laugh. It was bitter, cold. That's what everyone says. But then they twist everything. They make it about ratings and clicks. The audience shifted in their seats. This wasn't going the way anyone expected. Tamron maintained her grace. "I understand your frustration with media coverage, but we're here to have an honest conversation. That's what this show is about. Honesty and respect." "Respect?" Prince Harry's voice rose slightly. "Do you know what it's like? Do you have any idea what it's like to have your entire life dissected by people who don't know you?" Tamron took a breath. She was still calm, still professional. "I can't pretend to know exactly what your experience has been, but I can tell you that I've faced my own challenges in the public eye. We all have our struggles." "Oh, here we go," Prince Harry said, shaking his head. "Everyone thinks their problems are the same. Everyone thinks they understand." "I'm not saying that at all," Tamron replied, her voice steady. "I'm simply saying that we can have a respectful dialogue about difficult topics. That's what adults do." Prince Harry leaned back in his chair and crossed his arms. "Adults? You want to talk about being an adult? How about we talk about how the media stalked my mother until she died? How about we talk about that?" The studio went silent. Tamron's expression softened. "That was a tragedy that affected the entire world. I think everyone here has deep sympathy for what you and your family went through." "Sympathy," Prince Harry scoffed. "Everyone has sympathy until they can profit from the pain. Isn't that what this is? Aren't you profiting from having me here?" Tamron's jaw tightened slightly, but her voice remained measured. "This is my job. I interview people and tell their stories. If you felt uncomfortable doing this interview, you could have declined the invitation." "Maybe I should have," Prince Harry shot back. "Maybe I should have known this would be another circus." "With respect," Tamron said, and there was steel in her voice now. "You came on this show of your own free will. Nobody forced you to be here. And I've been nothing but respectful to you from the moment you walked in." "Respectful?" Prince Harry's voice was getting louder. "You sit there with your questions all lined up, pretending like you care. But really, you just want me to say something controversial so you can get your viral moment." The audience gasped. Tamron sat up straighter. "That is absolutely not true. Every question I've asked you has been fair and relevant. I've given you every opportunity to share your perspective." Fair? Prince Harry was on a roll now. You think anything about this is fair? You have no idea what fair is. You wake up every day in your normal life, doing your normal job, and you think you can sit across from me and judge my choices? I am not judging you, Tamron said firmly, but I'm going to push back when you make accusations that aren't true. I've treated you with nothing but kindness and professionalism. Professionalism, Prince Harry repeated mockingly. Is it professional to invite someone on your show just to make them look bad? Tamron's patience was wearing thin, but she kept her composure. How have I tried to make you look bad? By asking you about your work? By giving you a chance to speak? By having that look on your face, Prince Harry said, gesturing toward her. That condescending look like you're better than me. I don't have any look, Tamron replied, her voice rising slightly for the first time. What I have is confusion about why you're being so hostile when I've done nothing wrong. Nothing wrong? Prince Harry stood up from his chair. The audience murmured. You're just like all the rest, pretending to be different, but you're exactly the same. Tamron stood up too, matching his energy, but keeping her dignity. I think we need to take a breath here. You're clearly upset about something, but taking it out on me isn't fair. Don't tell me what's fair. Prince Harry's voice echoed through the studio. You don't get to tell me anything. Actually, this is my show, Tamron said, her voice firm but controlled. And on my show, we treat each other with respect. If you can't do that, then maybe you shouldn't be here. Maybe I shouldn't, Prince Harry shouted. Maybe this whole thing was a mistake. The tension in the room was thick enough to cut. Tamron stood her ground. If you want to leave, nobody is stopping you. But don't blame me for your behavior. My behavior? Prince Harry's face was red now. You have some nerve. Do you know who you're talking to? And there it was, the moment that changed everything. Tamron's expression shifted, not to anger, but to disappointment. Yes, I know exactly who I'm talking to. I'm talking to a guest on my show who has forgotten his manners. Manners? Prince Harry laughed harshly. I'm a prince. I don't need lectures about manners from you. The audience gasped again, louder this time. Tamron's eyes flashed. Being a prince doesn't give you the right to be rude. Being a prince doesn't mean you can treat people badly. I'll treat people however I want, Prince Harry said, and his voice was cold, especially people who are beneath me. The studio erupted. The audience couldn't believe what they were hearing. Tamron's face showed shock, then something harder, something resolute. Excuse me? You heard me, Prince Harry said. This interview is over. I'm done wasting my time with someone like you. Someone like me? Tamron repeated, her voice dangerously quiet. What exactly does that mean? Prince Harry waved his hand dismissively. It means exactly what you think it means. I don't have to explain myself to you. Tamron took a step forward. You know what? You're right. This interview is over. But not because you're ending it. I'm ending it. Prince Harry looked surprised. What? You heard me, Tamron said, her voice strong and clear. I'm asking you to leave my show. Right now. You can't ask me to leave, Prince Harry said, incredulous. Do you know who I am? I know exactly who you are, Tamron said. You're someone who came on my show and insulted me. You're someone who thinks a title gives you the right to be cruel. And you're someone who is no longer welcome here. This is ridiculous, Prince Harry said, but there was uncertainty in his voice now. You can't be serious. I am completely serious, Tamron said. I've been in this business for a long time. I've interviewed presidents and celebrities and people from all walks of life. And I have never, ever let anyone disrespect me on my own show. Prince Harry looked around, as if expecting someone to come to his defense. But the audience was silent. Even the crew members were standing still, watching. "You're making a huge mistake," he said. "The only mistake I made was thinking this interview would be productive," Tamron replied. "Now please, leave my stage." "You'll regret this," Prince Harry said, his voice shaking with anger. "You have no idea what you've just done." "What I've done," Tamron said calmly, "is stood up for myself. Something I'll never regret." Prince Harry's face went through several expressions. Shock, anger, disbelief. "Fine," he finally said. "I don't need this. I don't need you." "Then we're in agreement," Tamron said. She turned to someone off camera. "Can we please have security escort our guest out?" "Security?" Prince Harry's voice pitched higher. "You're calling security on me?" "You were asked to leave and you're still here," Tamron said simply. "That's how this works." Two security guards appeared from the wings. They were professional, calm. "Sir, we need you to come with us," one of them said. Prince Harry looked between the guards and Tamron. "This is insane. You're all insane." "We're just doing our jobs," the security guard said. "Please, let's make this easy." "Easy?" Prince Harry laughed, but it sounded forced. "Nothing about this is easy. She's the one who attacked me." "I did no such thing," Tamron said, her voice steady. "Everyone in this room heard what happened. You came here looking for a fight, and you got one. Just not the one you expected." "You're twisting everything," Prince Harry said as the security guards gently took his arms. "This is exactly what you people do. You twist and lie and manipulate." "The only person who's been doing that is you," Tamron said. "And now you need to leave." The security guards started walking Prince Harry toward the exit. He tried to pull away. "Get your hands off me. Don't you know who I am?" "Sir, please don't make this harder than it needs to be," one of the guards said. Prince Harry's voice carried across the studio as they led him away. "This isn't over. You'll hear from my lawyers. You can't treat me like this." Tamron stood on her stage, watching him go. Her face was composed, but you could see the emotion in her eyes. The audience didn't know whether to applaud or stay silent. Finally, one person started clapping, then another. Then the whole audience erupted in applause. Tamron held up her hand. "Please," she said, and the audience quieted down. What you just witnessed was not entertainment. It was not planned. It was simply a reminder that respect is not optional. Her voice was shaking slightly, but she pushed through. "I have spent my entire career trying to give people a voice, trying to listen with empathy and understanding, but I will never, ever allow anyone to demean me or treat me as less than." The audience applauded again. Tamron's eyes were bright with unshed tears, but she was smiling. A real smile. A proud smile. "We're going to take a break," she said, "and when we come back, we'll continue with our scheduled programming." As the cameras cut away, Tamron sat back down in her chair. The adrenaline was still pumping through her veins. A producer rushed over. "Are you okay?" they asked. Tamron nodded. "I'm fine," she said. "Better than fine, actually." "That was incredible," the producer said. "The way you handled that." "I just did what needed to be done," Tamron replied. She looked toward the exit where Prince Harry had been escorted out. "Nobody gets to treat me that way. I don't care what title they have." The crew members were buzzing with excitement and shock. This was going to be the talk of the industry. But Tamron wasn't thinking about that. She was thinking about the principle of the thing, about standing up for yourself, about dignity. "Do you think he'll really sue?" another crew member asked. Tamron shrugged. "Let him try. Everything that happened is on tape. The truth is the truth." In the green room, Prince Harry was still ranting to anyone who would listen. "She had no right. No right at all. I'm a prince. You can't just kick a prince off a television show." One of his handlers tried to calm him down. "Sir, maybe we should just go." "Go?" Prince Harry whirled on them. We're not going anywhere until someone apologizes to me. I don't think that's going to happen, the handler said, quietly. Then we'll sue, Prince Harry said. We'll sue everyone. The show, the network, her personally. Everyone. Back on the stage, Tamron was touching up her makeup during the commercial break. Another guest was being brought out, someone who had been scheduled for later in the show. Are you sure you want to continue? They asked Tamron. Absolutely, Tamron said. The show goes on. That's what we do. The next guest sat down, looking nervous. That was intense, they said. Tamron smiled warmly. It was, but it's over now. Let's talk about you and your amazing work. As the cameras came back on, Tamron's professionalism was flawless. You would never know that just minutes before, she'd had to kick a prince off her show. She asked thoughtful questions, listened intently, laughed at the right moments. This was her gift. This was what she did. During another commercial break, her phone was blowing up. Texts from friends, colleagues, other hosts. Are you okay? That was amazing. I can't believe what I just saw. She didn't respond to any of them. Not yet. She was still working. Meanwhile, Prince Harry was in a car, leaving the studio. He was still fuming. She'll pay for this, he muttered. They'll all pay. His handler sat quietly, not saying anything. They'd learned long ago that sometimes it was better to just let him vent. Eventually, he'd calm down. Eventually, he'd see reason. Or at least, that's what they hoped. Back at the studio, the show was wrapping up. Tamron's final words to the camera were measured and thoughtful. Thank you all for being here today. Remember, respect is a two-way street. We all deserve to be treated with dignity, no matter who we are or where we come from. When the cameras finally turned off, Tamron let out a long breath. Her executive producer came over and hugged her. You were amazing, they said. I was just honest, Tamron replied. That's all I ever try to be. Well, the internet is going crazy. The producer said, showing her their phone. You're trending everywhere. Tamron glanced at the screen, but didn't take the phone. That's nice, she said, but it's not why I did it. Why did you do it? The producer asked. Tamron thought for a moment. Because someone had to. Because being polite and professional doesn't mean being a doormat. Because I've worked too hard and come too far to let anyone make me feel small. The producer nodded. He really thought his title would protect him. Titles don't mean anything if you don't have character, Tamron said. That's what he doesn't understand. As she gathered her things and prepared to leave the studio, staff members kept coming up to her. Some wanted to make sure she was okay. Others wanted to tell her how proud they were. One young production assistant had tears in her eyes. Thank you, she said to Tamron. Thank you for showing us that it's okay to stand up for ourselves. Tamron hugged her. Always stand up for yourself, she said. Always. That night, as Tamron drove home, she replayed the confrontation in her mind. Had she handled it right? Could she have done something differently? But deep down, she knew the answer. She'd done exactly what needed to be done. She'd defended herself with grace and strength. She'd shown that respect isn't negotiable. Prince Harry, wherever he was probably still angry, still feeling wronged, still believing that he'd been treated unfairly. But that wasn't Tamron's problem anymore. She'd said what needed to be said. She'd done what needed to be done. And now she could move forward with her head held high. The next day, the media would be full of stories and opinions and hot takes. Some people would defend Prince Harry. Others would praise Tamron. But in that moment, in her car, driving home after one of the most dramatic days of her career, Tamron Hall felt at peace. She'd stood her ground. She'd maintained her dignity. And she'd shown the world that no title, no matter how grand, gives anyone the right to be cruel.